these streets is that they fired your ass. I'm broke. And I'm sick of being the hunter. So your next job, I'm gonna do it with you. Set it up.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2025 action thriller sequel, Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. The film is written and directed by Christian Gudegast and it stars Gerard Butler, O'Shea Jackson Jr. and Evan Ahmed. Right, okay, this is the sequel to the popular film that came out about 4 or 5 years ago, Den of Thieves. Den of Thieves was kind of a well-done Heat rip-off of a film. I remember quite enjoying it. I reviewed it on the channel. I thought it was really, really good. But essentially, like I say, it was a bit of a clone of the Heat film, you know, the Michael Mann film with De Niro and Pacino. This time round, Gerard Butler's character, Big Nick, the cop from the first one, he heads abroad to track down O'Shea Jackson Jr.'s character, Donnie Wilson. However, when he does track him down, he decides he's going to change sides, and because his life in the States has basically gone to crap, he's broke, he's no money, he's divorced, etc., he basically joins up with Donnie and the rest of his crew and asks if he can take part in the next heist that they've set up. Donnie doesn't really have a choice but to agree, and he becomes part of the crew. And the job this time is to complete a heist and rob some very, very expensive diamonds. Right. What are my thoughts on Den of Thieves 2? Well, like I say, the original I thought was a really very well made film. I thought it was very watchable, very strong central performance by Gerard Butler, and it very similar to Heat in a sense of it focused on two stories. It focused on the cops and the criminals, and then they kind of came together at the end, sort of thing. And the good thing about a film when it does it like that is you get to know both sides, so you learn who everybody is. So when they eventually clash, you've got this sense of loss, really, when people start dying and getting captured and all that kind of stuff. So this doesn't follow that formula. It follows a different formula. This essentially is a heist film, but it's got Big Nick, Gerard Butler's character from the first film, the cop, joining the Crims, Breaking Bad, if you like. And it's an interesting concept, it's an interesting idea. Me personally, knowing that character from the first film, he would never have done it. Never in a million years would he have broke bad, in my opinion. I remember when I saw the trailer for this film and it revealed it in the trailer that he's going bad, turning crim. And I'm like, I don't buy it. This is Big Nick from the first film. He lived for the hunt. I just didn't. I didn't buy it, and I don't buy it, and I think it's a bit of a betrayal of his character. However, it doesn't go exactly as you expect if you like the film. So he doesn't necessarily become what you would describe as a fully fledged crim. And that's the most I could say, really, without spoiling it. But I did enjoy the relationship that he kind of built with Donnie, the O'Shea Jackson Jr. character. They had great chemistry. I remember having good chemistry in the first one, but it's greatly expanded on in this film. They do have some good chemistry, and one of the best scenes in the film is when he joins up with the crew for it's like a night out, I guess. And he gets basically drunk and takes every drug known to man. This is Gerard Butler's character with everybody else, and he gets completely off his face, and I mean really off his face. And it's a good scene. It's a fun scene, and you can see Gerard Butler had fun with that sort of thing. So I did enjoy the development of the relationship between them two and his relationship with the rest of the crew, especially Evan Ahmed's character, Giovanna, who is like a big part of the crew as well, sort of thing. So all that kind of stuff worked well. Now, for an action thriller, this is really drastically light on action, I would say. This film is 3/4 setup. Lots of dialogue, lots of setup, lots of making plans, and then they're kind of going sideways, so you make some more plans, and and then it's one of those that when the heist takes off, the action kind of starts from there. But it's not as blistering and gritty and brutal as the first film. It's a bit more, I don't know, Hollywoodized, I'd say, the action in this one. I seem to remember it was butch. The action in the first one, it felt like, it was filmed like using, guerrilla tactics, where cameras in close, and it felt very visceral and gritty, and that's my memory of it anyway. And this time around, like I said, it's a lot slicker, the action. Everyone's driving around in supercars, sort of thing. It's one of those films. And it's unfortunately, there's no other way of saying it, really. It is light on action. So take that as you will, I suppose, if you don't mind that. Personally, I didn't mind it, and the reason why I didn't mind it is because I was invested in the characters for the most part throughout the runtime. I'm not one of these that I need an action scene every 10 minutes just to keep me invested in a film like this. I did enjoy the characters, the interactions, the setup for the most part. I do think the trailer somewhat lessened the impact of the Gerard Butler, the twist of him Breaking Bad in this film. I don't think they needed to do that so much in the trailer. Less is more. I think it would have had a much more shock factor if I'd have got to that scene, and he joined up with Donnie and the rest of the crew, and wanting, to join and be a criminal and make some money. That would have had much more impact, I think, if they'd have left that out of the trailer. But, it's par for the course these days for trailers, isn't it? But yeah, I'm not going to lie. I had a good time with this. I thought it was well made. I thought it was a solid sequel. There's room there for another film if they decide to go down that way. If this film does well enough, who knows? I certainly would probably watch another one. I do enjoy this Big Nick character of Gerard Butler's. I mean, he looks a beast, you know what I mean? I remember him, he bulked up big time for the first one, and he's bulked up again for this with this big, massive beard, and, he just comes across as this guy that just doesn't take any crap. And it works well in these movies. It works well for him as an actor. It's the perfect character, really, for Gerard Butler. But it's not at the level of the first film. There are aspects of it that I think, like I say, I feel like they've betrayed his character a little bit. And like I say, there's not what I would describe as a massive amount of action, but it's solid enough, and I had a decent enough time with it. I've watched far, far worse, put it that way. So yeah, if you're a fan of the first one and you really enjoyed it, you might enjoy checking out this one. I think, like I've said, I do think it is a bit of a solid sequel. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. I will, of course, be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.